the way the world talks, the way sexuality, everything is. In the US, children are even being encouraged to choose their gender. Can you believe that? They're boys or girls. But there are a lot of people and psychologists also who think that we are actually exploring our gender and we are choosing our gender. So that's the way the world is doing things, right? But we need to call these things by the real name. We need to call them by the real name. And if you want to successfully navigate troubled waters, you should see sin for what it is. We should call sin by its real name. Because God calls it by its real name. So we need to modify our language. We need to change our language. For example, it's not a mistake. What we might call, oh, that's a mistake, God calls wickedness. It is not a mistake, it is wickedness. And an affair, someone has an affair with someone. It's not an affair, it is adultery. That's what God calls it. Then, it's not an alternate lifestyle. We have all these alternate lifestyles now. It is an abomination. That's what it is. Homosexuality or changing genders or whatever. It's an abomination. It's not an alternate lifestyle. It's an abomination. And it's not a slip of the tongue. When you use curse words, it's not a slip of the tongue. It is blasphemy. It's blasphemy. And it is not an abortion. It is murder. So we need to change our vocabulary. We should start calling things as God calls them. It's not a mistake. It's wickedness. It's not an affair, it's adultery. It's not an alternate lifestyle, it's an abomination. It's not a slip of the tongue, it's blasphemy. And it's not an abortion, it's murder. We need to call things by the way God calls them. We need to see things as God sees them. And Joseph was faithful in spite of temptations. Not because he didn't have temptations. Joseph went through the strongest temptation, but he was faithful. And all of us because it's how we end that matters. It's how we finish that matters. Everything has an ending, and it's where we end, how we end. That is what is important. Like Paul said, in 2 Timothy verses 4-7, he says, I have fought a good fight, I have finished my course, I have kept the faith. That is what we need to be able to say. That is what we need to be able to say at the end of our life.